Good morning, everybody. This is Paul, your friendly moderator, coming to you from the University of Melbourne, where we're hosting this Coursera Climate Change series. Our first weekly mailbag video is upon us, and we're going to take you briefly through some of the issues that have cropped up. We're pretty good so far. We're only 1 week in, and we don't expect there to be too much to talk about, but there are one or two things that we'd like to get in place, set a precedent for the rest of the course, and we're going to talk about those now. First off, we just want to show you this. My very good assistant, Bärbel, has been putting together a little map of where it is that all of you are coming from in doing this course. It's not complete, it's still a work in progress, but I hope it does give you a little bit of an idea of where things are at as far as enrolment goes in the course and what sort of distribution that enrolment has. You'll notice there's one or two pins out there in the Pacific Islands that we've been focused on since the start of the course. So a special good day to them, particularly one there from Kiribati. There are a few more people in those islands that we know are doing the course, so we encourage you to make contact and let us know about that. And Bärbel will take care of putting you on the map. So far there's not too many issues. Thanks very much for letting us get through some of the teething problems, which haven't been too dramatic this time around. Most of our concerns revolve around these three categories. First of all, with video viewing, most people seem able to watch the videos from a technical standpoint. There have been some individual concerns out there about playback. Mostly we seem to have solved them, but I do ask you to be wary of which particular operating system you might be using and which browser you may be using, particularly when it comes to the Coursera app, which some people have started making use of this time around. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to post on the forums and let us know about that, and we will take action as soon as we can. We've had a few who we've resolved quite successfully, and as we see what problems come up, we will add them to our database and hopefully be able to effect a resolution more quickly should you have any problems. The second category of things to talk about are the quizzes. Now, not all of you are doing the actual assessment for the course, and that's fine. So this really only applies to that fraction of you who are taking assessment for the course. Two issues, though, to do with the quizzes. People have been very well behaved, and this is very good. Gold star to everybody for not talking about the quiz questions during this first quiz window, which has been underway now for 3 days and will be continuing for another 7 days. Obviously, we don't like people talking about the questions or discussing whether answers are right or wrong during the assessment window. We see that as being analogous to discussing the questions during the exam with the person next to you. But there's no complaints from us about that. You've been great. No one's really raised that. And the couple of people who have raised questions about the quiz have been sensitive to this problem and haven't actually talked about the questions. So there's probably a bit of experience coming in there for Coursera veterans who have done some courses before. The other issue that's come up is the matter of quiz timing, where we have an educational preference for opening up the quiz a few days after the material upon which the quiz is based becomes available. That doesn't fit everybody's lifestyle or everybody's schedule, more importantly, during their working week, and we certainly understand that. I have my own schedule, and I can get very frustrated when I can't make everything work in the timing that I'd like. There's two things to say about that. One is the very sympathetic statement that we understand this, and that's why it's a 10-day window for the quizzes instead of just a 3 or 4 day window, to give everybody a chance to do the quizzes at the time of the week that suits them. The second, slightly less sympathetic statement is that we can't make special cases for people who have this problem. It's one open time. It's not able to be streamlined or customised for individual students. We're sorry about that, it's the limit of the technology, but even if we could, I don't think the group here would want to do that because they do see educational value in the student taking some time to absorb the material before the quiz. So my best advice in that situation is if you need to do the quizzes earlier in the week, just wait a week to do them. And perhaps in your own schedule, you could offset watching the lectures by 7 days as well, and then it will still seem like you're getting it all done at once. So this is our best advice to you, and I hope that works for you. The final section of discussion today has to do with the forums and Facebook. There's a couple of issues to raise here. First of all, we're hoping that everybody's going to talk to each other during the course. At the moment, we've got two very good conversations going on. One is in the forums. I know I keep saying forums, it's fora. I understand that for anybody who's going to give me feedback here. I'm an Aussie, I can't help saying it, I don't speak English properly. Some great conversations going on, long form conversations, some very interesting material being posted by people from around the world about general subjects and also about local subjects. Fantastic reading. The forums, or fora, are the place for those longer conversations, and they're developing. We've got a lot of threads opening up, and it's fabulous. Facebook has its place as well, particularly for visual material that is more about saying, here it is, let's everybody have a look, rather than have a particularly long conversation about it. There's a lot of students who are on Facebook who aren't on the fora or forums, and we'd like to see those two groups maybe start talking to each other a bit more. They seem fairly exclusive of each other at the moment. The cross-talk is where the value of this course often comes from. The extra kinds of learning that happen because we've got people on the ground everywhere in the world, which is a fantastic asset. And we'd like to get some cross-conversation happening and delve into the issues a bit more, including the ones that are raised on Facebook. So we'd certainly like to see that happening if we can. On the forums themselves, I'm going to stop correcting myself. You've got a very nice conversation happening, as I said. So far, it has been polite. For those of you who have sort of talked to me online already and seen how I feel about this, we have basically zero tolerance policy to lack of respect, abuse, insult, impatience with people who don't think the way you do. We've spelled out what the rules are for that, and I'm very pleased to report that I've had no reason to feel that anybody's crossed that line as yet. As the conversations develop, this may change. And what I would like to say to you is, no matter how passionate you are about the point of view that you have, no matter how much you think you know all of the answers when it comes to this very political, very divisive climate change issue, whether you're pro-climate change, whether you're against climate change, the only thing we ask is that you do not treat people with less than full respect in the way that you are writing and responding to them. Yes, it will get heated, yes, it will get impatient, but as long as you are heated and impatient about the topic and not the people, we'll be happy with that. If you're not, and you are starting to express emotions that are not suitable in the forum, then we will have to consider taking action on that. But as I said, so far we haven't got to that stage. We'll hear more about this as the weeks go by, but we've been very pleased with the way that you guys have been handling yourselves on those forums. See, even I'm getting it wrong now. Fora. And that's an invitation to everybody who hasn't got onto the discussion boards yet to also do so. If you're holding back because you feel that you don't know anything, because there are people on there who seem to know everything, I can tell you as someone who has been tutoring people for years who have this problem, there is no such thing as a dumb question. There is no such thing. And on this discussion board at least, you will be treated with every courtesy in asking those questions. Remember, this is a learning environment and learning starts with asking questions. All right, enough seriousness from me. We're really happy with the way things have gone so far, and we look forward to seeing how things develop over the next few weeks. Remember, if you're doing the assessment, we've got the first peer review exercise starting to happen next week. We'll have something to say about that. Have a look online to see what you'll be expected to take on by way of assignment, and we will make sure that we can make that as smooth a process as possible for everybody. So I look forward to seeing you on the discussion groups. I look forward to seeing you on Facebook, and in the meantime, keep learning, keep talking, and enjoy the experience. Thanks.